folks, say hello Bob.
Hello Bob.
Right, on the bench today we've got just the hot ticket. It's a flaming good guitar. We've got the Dean Dimer Flame there, the Dimebag signature. It's one of the most complex guitars we've had on the bench in the videos that we've done so far. There's a lot to do on this. We've got a loose knob, intonation's got to be set up, truss rod adjustments. We've got a very complicated bridge setup. So just tell everyone what we've got to do.
Well, basically we've got to set this, which is the art of one of these types of guitar. It's what they call a Floydrose, and there's quite a few adjustments on that you have to do before you even think about setting truss rods and anything else. So it involves adjustment on these back screws here. It involves adjustment for the intonation on that screw there, which involves loosening and tightening the strings, maybe several times to get that right, because you've got to move each saddle backwards and forwards individually. And also you've got to adjust the eye to adjust the type of string that you've got on, so as that is absolutely parallel with that body and just about that height of an inch up at the back from the surface.
So there's a lot to do. We'll try and break this into as many stages as we can. Perhaps the biggest job we will do, I imagine probably this year, will be this one. So let's zoom in for a close-up and we'll get on with the first job. Right folks, first job tonight is to make the initial assessments. At a first glance, Bob, how is it?
Well, it needs, I've had a quick look, and the neck is terribly out. We need to make some adjustments to the truss rod on that. And to do this, basically you'll have to remove these 3 screws here, which are the clamps for the Floydrose. With the Floydrose, you lock it up there and you adjust on the rear end of the guitar. But you have to take those off first, and then take your cover plate off so you can gain access to the truss rod itself. Then with your Allen key, if you've got the one there, which is usually about 5mm, you just put that in there. You'll put the capo on the first fret. You hold it down at the last fret. You check your measurement, which is way under 10th thou on this measurement, and it's got to be roughly 10 to 12 thou.
We'll make some more assessments folks and then get back to you in the morning for the next video. It's going to be a long night I think, but we better get the kettle on, and we'll catch you for the next video folks. Right Bob, how far away are we?
We're pretty close now. It's been a bit awkward for this one. There's been quite a lot of bow in the neck, and I've had to bring the truss rod down quite a lot to get the clearance. So what we're going to do now is just put it on the final stages, and it needs just a few more thou now. It's at 15th thou now, so just a little tweak now to bring it down. Still a bit more. Still a bit more. And don't forget to keep your finger on the bottom fret while you're doing this, as well as the capo at the top. And that is just 12th thou, which is now about right.
Let's get it cleaned up. Right guys, very important with a guitar like this, it's the first time we're going to document this for everyone to see. We don't just take the strings off and start cleaning the neck as we usually would here. This Floydrose bridge is very, very similar to a seesaw approach. I'm going to push this tremolo arm here, this whammy bar to some people. That's going to lift it, as you can see. Now the strings are pulling the bridge up. The behind, you'll hopefully just see, there's some springs, they're pulling it back. So it's a combination of that pulling and the strings pulling. We're going to flip back over. So before we do any work, we don't want to disturb the bridge. Little tip, mask off the guitar, we don't want to damage the guitar at all. Non-stick tape, there's a few layers, low tack tape. We're going to press the bar now, tremolo arm, whammy bar to some people, and we're going to push a piece of wood into the back and drop it down. That is now going to support the bridge, and when we take the strings off, it's not going to fly back and dip. It's going to keep the seesaw balanced at both ends. So we can now, that is holding in place, take the strings off and give it a clean. Right guys, last hurdle before we do the restring and clean is obviously this end where you'd usually have your normal nut. Bob, just give us a little explanation of this.
These are locked off on the top, so you're having to adjust it there. There's the bottom end of the Floydrose are adjusting screws.
We will show you those a bit later in the restring process.
We'll show you that later when we've adjusted it. But these have to be removed before you do anything towards the string.
And all we'll do, take them off. The biggest tip, you will lose these, put them in a very safe place. There are times we've had to go on the hunt for one or two that have gone missing. Once they're removed, you can then gain access to the strings. All we're going to do now is unwind the string.
One at a time.
One at a time. Well done, Bob. Keep it balanced. And then we're going to get a clean up of the neck. We will then show you the other side of the guitar when we come to do the restring, the bottom end of the bridge. Those off in a safe spot. It's now ready to take the strings off and we can clean the neck. Right guys, we've got a mild soapy solution on the neck as usual. Give it a clean. This is really important to get under the frets, the grime and dirt that's under there. You'd be surprised at. So Bob's going to give this a little clean up over again. With, is that my toothbrush again?
Sorry, you can have it back after.
Right, we'll carry on doing this neck and then I'll throttle him before the next video. Right folks, while Bob's gone to make a cup of tea, there's a fat chance of that happening in this shop. I'm going to give a little fret polish. You may have seen this on one of the previous videos. We do tend to go through the same stages with every guitar of cleaning, fret polish, the neck. You won't always see them as the video length we do need to be watching out for. I'm going to give you a quick example of what we're doing with this one. Just back and forth, very small piece of abrasive. We don't want to scratch the guitar. And we're just going back and forth a few times. Get rid of any of the dirt and grime that builds up on them. We can then have a little look at the state of the frets. These can wear over time, but if you do take care to look after them, you won't need them replacing as soon, as that can be quite a costly job. Just back and forth again, very small piece. We don't want to be going onto the neck and scratching it. Just back and forth. This will polish them up. We can assess the state of the frets. And then if there are any issues that need to be rectified, we can look at that. This looks okay. I think the man's quite a rock star who does play it, but with a good polish these will be as good as new. I'll do the rest of these guys and we'll clean the neck very shortly. Bob, where's that tea?
Hey, doing it yet?
Right guys, we've got a sterilising fluid here just to, again, in the interest of hygiene, we want to keep this as clean as we can. This will dissolve fairly quickly. I know Bob mentioned in previous videos about this. Neck care is something that, again, is missed off by a lot of people. You do most of the playing there with all the sweat, all the dirt, all the grime. You want to keep it as clean as you can. So once we've done this, we'll go through a couple of stages and then we'll end up lem oiling very, very shortly. But this is just going to give you an idea of just how dirty the neck is. And I'm going to just give you a little overview of the cloth here. And that, folks, is why you always clean your guitar before you put fresh strings on. Bob, these look like your underpants.
Yeah, that dirty. Yeah. Right, now we've cleaned it all up. We now to lemon oil it now. We found out that it's quite dry, the neck is. So we use a decent lemon oil, and all we do, you put it on a cloth or you can dab it onto the guitar. I find it better on a cloth because you don't go anywhere. And then you rub it onto the guitar neck, taking care to get into the gaps where the frets are, and do that all the way down the neck. It might take a couple of minutes to do it properly, but once it's done, it's done for about 12 months. Over the next restring or whatever. Now that's it. It's all been lemon oiled up. Now the thing to do now is leave it for a few minutes or possibly an hour, just to let it dry in. And then we can start to restring.
Right folks, bit of a different approach to restringing. We take the string through the top and bring it down. Bob's going to just nip the end off. Why is this, Bob?
Because there's a frayed dead end there. That's usually the dead end of the thing. And you just cut it about an inch or so off, so you've got a clean end.
We'll now come down to the other end of the guitar, pulling
Clean
this
end
through.
there.
And we're going to feed the string.
There's a gap between the bridge and the locking piece. You feed the string directly into that, as hard as it'll go.
Right guys, we'll show you how to tighten this up now. Bob's going to be our handyman. This is going to be just in stage. If you want to tighten the block
slightly till it grips the block, then give it a pull test. And you turn it another half a turn or so.
Final
to
big
make
turn.
sure it's nice and tight.
And then that should now,
that is it.
It's stuck in. We can now string it up from the other end. Right, we're now going to tune this up folks, just till it's taut. We don't want to fine tune it in just yet, and then we'll do that with all the other strings. Instead of going sequentially, we'll actually work outside in, just to try and keep a balance on the bridge. So fast forward video coming any second now, and we'll see you back for the stretching in what will probably be about an hour for us, hopefully 30 seconds for you. Right folks, guitar's been settling overnight with the strings. It's now time to give them the stretching. So Bob, block, has it got to come out now?
We'll take the block out now and we'll tune each string up in turn, working outside in.
Another fast forward video guys, and we'll see you in an hour or so. Right folks, last stage now is the tuning is now holding. What we are going to do is leave the locking nuts off just until it settles a bit longer. Once we know it's holding the tuning sort of full time, we can then lock them off with the screws that we safely put away earlier. I hope you know where they are.
Yeah.
And then any final tuning we can do with the smaller register keys down here. That's just like more of a fine tuning. So we're going to polish this up, and then I think we're going to have a sound check.
Yeah.
Oh, come on then, bloody clean it, polish it.
Lovely, that is.
Right guys, time to give it a sound check now. As usual, there are a few more tweaks we still haven't locked off, but we will do when we know it's settled. It's nearly there. Let's give it a little whirl. Shake your hair, Bob. Hi folks, say hello Bob.
Hello there.
As usual, if you like what you're seeing, please subscribe and give us a like. We'll see you next time. It's recording.
Right then. That's a fair start. Yeah. Are you going to start?
What do you want? Do you want to wave a bloody flag in front of your face?
You know, I've got my hands in there. Made a few assessments last
Bob,
night.
that was too soon.
Record you dozy son.
I said ready.
I said we'll be ready in a minute.
I'll go on then.
For the love of God.
I don't know, I'm more concentrating on this. Carry on then. Say when.
Right Bob, how far away are we now?
We're pretty close now again. It's been a bit of a pain to get it done now. The neck was way off. We've got it down now. I just need to put a few more turns on the truss rod to get it right. When
You're missing your cap,
When I
aren't
can
you?
find my
You're
cap
missing
out.
your capo.
Oh, I know. You know, back again.
Right,
We'll do that again.
capo on the first fret.
Right. We got
That's it. This is the BAFTA. Right, here we go.